are using closebot and you wanted to disqualify leads, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to do it in a few easy steps so that you can allow closebot to move the right people along and kick the wrong people out. Okay, so assuming you've already set up closebot, you have leads flowing, you've configured closebot, assuming that you have all that done, now we want to create a disqualification method for closebot. And here's how you do it. So let's assume you already have the basic closebot workflow. Click the trigger, customer replied, webhook, which is going to be the closebot response. And let's just say this is the basic workflow, right? So as the bot updates different fields, so let's say our field is, I'll just use this account as an example here. Go to objectives. Income. Okay. Let's say determine lead name's income. This could be anything. This could be a timeline. This could be an income. This can be a credit score. This could be anything at all. Anything that is a disqualifying metric that you're capturing and you're having closebot update inside high level. If you don't know how to do that, check out my channel. I have tutorials on how to set that up. But assuming that you have that set up where closebot is updating somebody's field based on, you know, their income, we can then have another workflow fire off based on that update, that particular update. So I'll walk you through this here in a second here. So assuming that this account does it, so I'll just make it real quick. Do drop down single, text, income level, additional first. Let's say $0 to $1,000, 1,000 to $3,000, and then 3,000 to 5,000. Oops. And then $5,000 plus, and then other. Okay, so let's pretend that's a custom field that we have closebot configuring to update. Right, we have it auto field updates. It's that field we just created. All right, great. So let's go back to the workflow. Have a new workflow here. Actually, so closebot. Just save that so I can use it for later other videos. So we'll do a new workflow and we'll say closebot disqualify. We'll name it that. So the trigger is going to be contact changed, and we're going to put a filter. So we go over here, go to filter. We're going to look for that custom field and just has changed. Okay. That field has changed. Fantastic. Then we're going to do a condition. If we're going to put this as the $0 to 1K branch, we're going to select contact details and we're going to go down to that income level again. And we're going to say is, and we're going to select that first one, $0 to $1,000. And then we'll duplicate that. And we'll say this next one is 1 to 3K, K to 3K. And then we'll duplicate this one. Say this one's 3 to 5K. And then we'll duplicate this one again. And we'll say this is 5K plus. And then we'll duplicate it one more time. Put other. So now I have different branches. Let me save this. So when closebot interacts with the lead, it asks their income level, they reply, that updates in the CRM high level here. Now I can have this workflow fire off based on that trigger. And depending on what was updated where, I can assign different buckets of actions. So let's say this is a disqualifying one right here. So then I would put edit conversation, mark as read, and archive, because I don't want it clogging the inbox, or maybe you don't want that. It's up to you. Then maybe the next one would be SMS, like send them a sorry, it seems like we're not a good fit. If anything changes, let us know. That's a generic message, but you can customize it however you want, or it could be an email. You can email them some resources, or you can have them say, you know what, based on what you just said, I think it'd be better if you call us. Like whatever the message is that you want, you can have it fire off. Then I like to add a tag, AI off, so that the AI doesn't respond anymore. And then if you want, you can set the DND. Let's say it's just not a good lead, so we'll just set DND and hit save. So there you go. So depending on where the answer triaged, I can have it just stop talking to the lead, add a tag, send an apology message, or direct them to a different resource, or tell them to call in. And then I can enable or disable DND. It's up to you. There's so many different actions you can take depending on where they align. One thing I will say though, it is a good idea for your bot to have a little wait gap before it responds. Wait 1 minute. This has saved me so many times, I can't even tell you. So essentially, when the contact replies, it updates in the system, it fires off the other workflow. And then while that's happening, this workflow is firing off too. But because we have a delay, it's not going to fire off a response because we've already determined they're disqualified. If you don't have this wait step here, it may fire off before they get disqualified. And then it's kind of a confusing messages. So I highly recommend that wait step right there. That's going to save you a ton of time. So why would you need this? Well, you definitely don't want your bot having conversations with unqualified people, tire kickers, just looking around, thinking about it, not too serious. You can do so many things with this. If their timeline isn't ready, you can put them in a nurture drip. You say, okay, add to this workflow over here where I have a nurturing sequence where it follows up with them periodically, spaced out so many dates. Or it could be, let me direct you to a different resource over here that will get you ready for us. It doesn't seem like you're ready. Here are some self-help items that I have, maybe some PDFs, maybe a mini course, something to indoctrinate them into your ecosystem of marketing. And so that when they move forward in their purchasing decision, then you have more rapport and trust built with them. So a lot of different ways you can go about this, but that is a straightforward, easy way to disqualify leads in closebot. So that's it. That's how you set it up. What do you think? How are you going to use lead disqualification with closebot in your business or your agency? Let me know in the comments. And if there's something you'd like to learn about closebot, let me know in the comments. Be happy to make a video for you. If you really like the content, feel free to subscribe and share with a friend. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Catch you on the next video. Take care.